Welcome to Yoga with Lynn on Monday morning. You do yoga at your own risk, so do listen to how you feel all the time you move. Make any adjustments that you want. Leave anything out that you don't feel is right for you today. And we're going to start lying down on our backs. So take your time to relax down, find a comfy position. You can have your knees bent or you can have your legs stretched out. Arms wherever they feel comfy. Backs of the shoulders rested. Back of the head resting on the floor. Imagine that inside your abdomen, so low down in your tummy, you have a soft balloon, and as you breathe in, the balloon inflates. And as you breathe out, it softens back down again. So inflate your balloon with every breath, but keep it low down in your abdomen. Your shoulders stay relaxed, your face stays relaxed. All your attention on your balloon inflating and deflating as you breathe. There's no rush to take as many breaths as you can. You take as long as you want to breathe in, as long as you want to breathe out. Just focusing on your balloon. And with no rush, in a moment you're going to change so that the balloon is in your rib cage. And then when you breathe in, your rib cage expands. Your tummy doesn't need to move now, just your rib cage. As you breathe out, your rib cage softens back in. So the same focus just on your balloon moving as you breathe. And is it expanding in all directions, out to the side, even pushing into the ground behind you? Can you alternate those two places? So one more breath in with the balloon in your rib cage and a breath out, and then the next time you breathe in, the balloon is back in your abdomen. So you alternate between the two with each breath. Still not rushing. Finally, a breath in with the balloon in your abdomen until the balloon is full, and then you have a second balloon within your rib cage and you expand that balloon with the same breath As you breathe out, slowly deflate both balloons. So your tummy balloon inflates first, and when that's full, your chest balloon inflates. Then you let them both go. Two more slow, full breaths before you return to natural breathing. Then reach your arms beyond your head. Stretch your arms out towards the wall behind you. Bring your legs together. Push your heels away. Pull your toes up towards you. Spread your fingers wide. Spread your toes wide. And then relax your hands and your feet. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Bend your knees and then bring your knees up onto your chest. Hands around your knees, have a rock side to side. And then find that place at the centre. Bring your feet back down onto the floor. Roll to one side, make your way up to standing for our salute to the sun. So you're going to be standing at the front end of your mat. Not quite high enough. And we're going to stand in mountain pose Tadasana. So toes are pointing forwards. Two firm footprints. Imagine you've got a zip zipping your legs together from your ankles, zip up. Relax your shoulders. And then lift your arms. So let your arms be straight and let them feel like they're framing your face. So they don't have to be vertical, but try to keep them in line with the sides of your head. So if your arms would normally be forwards, then take them wider to get them right out at the sides. So a frame for your face, your shoulders are relaxed. And sometimes that makes you feel like you want to flare your rib cage forward. So feel like your front ribs are heavy and pulling gently down. And as you stretch your arms, feel your shoulder blades on your back. Just gently separating. So firmness in your shoulders. And then look up between your hands, reach your arms back, maybe a little bit wider as well. This time relax your shoulder blades as if almost you're pushing them towards each other in order to push the centre of that where they come together up towards your chest, to send the centre of your chest up towards the ceiling. And then look forwards, reach up, take a forward fold, bend of your knees, fingers on the floor, shoulders relaxed, head and neck relaxed. Right leg back to a lunge, and then look forwards. Left foot back to down face dog. So every down face dog, firm through your hands and feet, firm through your tummy button. Then slide forwards to plank. Picture the straight line your body's made. Could it be straighter? And knees gently down on the floor. Front body smoothly down, elbows by your sides. Roll your shoulders back, a lift of your chest. And then look back down, push up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Down face dog. Tummy button to spine. And a walk through your legs, stretching one leg at a time. And stretch both legs. Anytime down face dog feels too strong, you can rest in child's pose with your knees on the floor. Weight on your left foot, look between your hands, step your right foot through to a lunge. And then step the left foot forwards, forward fold. Deep bend of your knees, hips down low to the floor. Keep them low, lift your shoulders, look forwards. And then straighten your legs to come up. Palms together at the top this time and then slide your palms down. So firm footprints, zip up through the centre. And then lift your arms as well. Look up, reach back and wide. Look forwards, reach up, forward fold. Left leg back to a lunge. Right foot back to down face dog. So ground your hands, your feet. Keep them grounded as you slide forwards. Hold it steady. If you have the strength, you can leave your knees lifted, otherwise place your knees back down on the floor and then lower your front body. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then back to down face dog. So hands and feet firm, tummy button to spine. And then the same feeling with your shoulders that you had when you framed your face with your arms. So your elbows are straight. And it's like the tips of your arm bones are sucking into your shoulder sockets. Almost a wider, squarer shoulder. Weight on the right foot, look between your hands, and then left foot steps forwards. Right foot steps through. Deep bend of your knees, so your hips get low, and then lift your shoulders. Straighten your legs. Palms towards the ceiling, palms together. Slide them down. Standing tall. Ready to go in time with your breath. So breath in to lift up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back to a lunge. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, plank. Option to drop your knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down face dog. So find your best down face dog. Hands and feet firm, tummy button firm. Squaring your shoulders. So we often think about lengthening in yoga postures. We want to really lengthen from the hands up to the hips, but if the shoulders are held in that good square position, that's not lengthening. The only place you can really lengthen is through the sides of your waist, as if you could stretch your hips and your rib cage further away from each other. So if you can find an action that makes that happen. Weight on the left foot, look between your hands, and then as you breathe in, the right foot steps through. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, palms slide down. Breath in here, standing tall. And a breath out. And then inhale to lift your arms. Smooth, continuous movements. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, plank. Option to drop your knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down face dog. So the same actions, the squareness of your shoulders, but finding the action that will allow the sides of your waist to lengthen. Slow, steady breath. Weight on the right foot. Look between your hands. Breath in, left foot through. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up. Palms together. Exhale, palms slide down. Breath in. And a breath out. And then feet just a little bit apart. Rest your arms. Feel the movement inside. Feel that residual energy inside you. Let it settle. We're going to balance in dancer's pose today, Natarajasana. So I would suggest that if you like to have somewhere as a bit of an aid to your balance, I would have it in front of you. So, well, yes, you can see, I'd have it like here, so that you can take a hand forwards if you want to. So we're going to balance first on the right leg. So you're going to pick up your left foot behind you. So this is when you might realise you should have stood by a wall, and that's fine to make a little move now. You don't have to use it if you come near it. Just having it might give you the help you need. If you've got your hand around the side, it's quite nice if you bring your hand inside, because it encourages you to roll that shoulder open. Whereas if your hand is here, sometimes it's a bit more easy to roll it forwards. But if your arm isn't long enough to reach, that's fine. Hold it from wherever you need to. But think about, whoa. Think about this shoulder rolling back. Let the knee drop towards the floor. So your left arm is straight, the leg that's holding the foot. And just notice how you can pull the foot away from the hand, get a bit of movement, like a bit of a bow and arrow. That kind of movement. Your arm stays straight, but your leg can almost move your arm. Notice what makes that movement. We're going to come back to that. So right arm out in front. Let's delay no longer. Left shoulder rolls back. And you're going to take your left knee back a little bit until your chest needs to pull forwards. Then just let it come forwards as far as it needs. Keep taking the left knee back. I'm going to come onto the side because I think it's easier for you to see there. So you hold when you think you've got far enough, and then you make that action with your leg to let the knee lift higher up off the floor. It's like my foot is pushing into my hand to extend my lifted leg, to make it straighter. Hold it steady. And then bring the knee back down. And then rest your arms, rest your legs. So you need calmness for a balance, so stay with a steady breath. Maybe hold your gaze in the same place where you were holding it before. And then you can balance on the left leg, pick up the right foot. So if you can from the inside, if you can't then from the outside is fine. Knee pointing down towards the floor and right shoulder rolling back. I'm going to go a bit onto the side. So left arm straight out in front. Hips and chest stay square out in that same direction as your arm. You're going to move the right knee. That's how you're going to tilt, pushing the right knee back. And only let your chest go as far forwards as it needs to go. Find that place. And then push your right foot into your hand in order to lift it a little bit higher. Bring the knee gently back down. Lift yourself upright. And then foot to the floor. Rest your arms. Have a moment there. And take a lie down on your back on the floor. Do a bit of work for the abdominal muscles this morning. There's not going to be many movements, but they're going to be really directed, focused movements. You're going to bend your knees to start. So feet on the floor, hip distance apart. And as you lie there comfortably, notice how your lower back might want to lift a little bit away from the floor. Pull it down. So no air gap underneath the back of your waist and your lower back. It's like you're pulling your tummy button down to the floor as if it's an upholstery button in a sofa, pulls down by a tight thread. Keep that pulled down. You're going to bring your fingertips to your temples and lift your head to look towards your knees, just your head. So your elbows are wide, your shoulders are relaxed. The only bit that's working is really your tummy button pulling down, and your legs, hips, and all the way up to your tummy button. That's going to stay still. We're only going to use the upper body. So you can feel your shoulder blades on the floor. When we lift up, you're going to imagine your shoulder blades coming a bit closer towards your knees. So take a breath in here, and then as you exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your knees. So they lift a little bit up away from the floor. It's a slow movement. And then as you inhale, they roll back down onto the floor, but your head stays lifted. So that's our action. We're going to do 4 more with the breath. Make them all really smooth. So breath in here. As you exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your knees. Tummy button to spine. Inhale to lower your shoulder blades back to the floor. Exhale to lift. Inhale back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale back down. Exhale to lift. I think that's 3. Inhale back down. So we're going to do 1 more. Exhale to lift. Inhale back down. And this time let the back of your head rest on the floor. Relax your arms. So because we do it slowly, the muscles have got to really kick in rather than using momentum to get you up. That's why not so many feels a bit harder. We're going to do some sideways ones for the oblique muscles. So the difference is going to be, it's still going to be a squeeze of the shoulder blades towards the knees, but we're going to do right shoulder blade towards left knee and then back down, and then left shoulder blade towards right knee and then back down. So we're going to alternate sides. Same kind of breath. We're going to do 4 to each side in one set. And if you need a rest, then take a rest. Drawing that upholstery button back down to the floor. Lift your head, look towards your knees, fingertips to temples, or you can have your hands on the back of your head to support it if your head feels too heavy, but shoulders relaxed. No movement in your legs or hips. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, right shoulder blade towards your left knee. Squeeze it closer. Inhale back down. Exhale, left shoulder blade to right knee. Inhale back down. Exhale, lift, turn to the left, right shoulder blade, left knee. Inhale down. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale back down. We're halfway there. Exhale, up to the left. Inhale down. Exhale, turn to the right. Lift and squeeze. Inhale back down. Final ones. Exhale, squeeze the right shoulder blade towards your left knee. Inhale back down. Exhale, left shoulder blade, right knee. Closest it's been. Inhale back down, and then back of the head on the floor. Rest your arms. Arms wide out to the side. And this time, legs stretched comfortably up towards the ceiling. You have a good bend of your knees if you want to. Find a comfy place for them, and then find that upholstery button again. Squeeze it down, tight thread, pulling it down. It's a slow, smooth movement. You're going to pull that button down and let your tailbone squeeze up away from the floor, and then gently roll back down. So 4 more of those. I don't think they need to go in time with the breath. So I'll just say lift and lower, but do it in your own time. 4 more. So a squeeze to lift, smooth, squeeze to lower down, all slow motion. Squeeze to lift, gentle lower. So just your tummy button pulls down. You lift your tailbone, lower it back down. 1 more lift, 1 more lower, and then knees onto your chest. Hands around your knees, squeeze them in. Have a little rock. And then place your feet on the floor. Maybe find that balloon in your abdomen again, so that as you breathe in, it stretches bigger. Those muscles that were tight now being able to stretch. And stretching them a little further with bridge pose, Setu Bandha. Feet, heels coming nice and close towards your hips, feet hip distance apart, toes a little bit turned in, and knees above your ankles. Arms by your sides, palm face down. So we're going to do this moving today. It's going to be a smooth lift up with your hips and a smooth roll down. Picture your spine as the sticky bit of a yellow sticky post-it note. Every bit of it stuck down on the floor. And then you're going to take hold of the tailbone end of your sticky part of the piece of paper. And as you lift it up, you peel your back from the bottom upwards away from the floor. Make it really smooth, just like it would be if it was that tacky piece of post-it. I shouldn't say post-it, but whatever. When you get to the top, to smooth back down, it's as if you take your thumb on the other end of the post-it note, so the spine, the shoulder end of your spine, and with your thumb you smooth your back, your spine back down onto the floor. So you're smoothing that tacky, sticky bit back down. So the back of the waist lands before the hips every time. Once it's all stuck back down again, you can lift again from the tailbone. So you can go in your own time. But a smooth, tacky lift. And then with your thumb you smooth all the way down. Once you've been up and down a few times, you might find you can lift higher. And if you want to, you can have a breath at the top if you like to lift and push a little bit higher, but that's completely your choice. Every time you move, make it smooth. And that post-it note's not losing any of its stickiness. Knees stay in line with your ankles, try not to let them splay wide. And then allow yourself one more final lift, a breath at the top if you want to take that little bit of extra. And then next time you roll back down, stay down. And then bring your knees onto your chest. Hands around your knees. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your forehead up towards your knees. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze into a tight little ball. And then your upper back and the back of your head can roll back down onto the floor. Keep a hold of your knees, have a rock. Feet to the floor. Rest your arms. Roll to the right, or to whichever way you've got space, of course, and then we're going to come up to standing. And we're going to be facing the short edge of the mat, so if you have the choice of which way around your mat can go, then long ways is good. Maybe I'll go a little bit sideways. And you're going to stand towards the front of your mat. I think I'll be coming all the way sideways. Let me adjust that. Okay. So feet hip distance apart. And have a sort of an awareness of your spine and the gentle natural curves of your spine. So the lower back has a little bit of a curve, the upper back has a bit of a curve the other way, but not exaggerating them at all. So your feet are firm on the floor. You're going to hinge from the hips, sliding your hands down your thighs to the tops of your knees. You can have a bend of your knees if you want to. Stop with your hands just above your knees. And then imagine that the back of your body, your back, is a tabletop. Your legs are two legs of the table. If you're more flexible, you might take your hands underneath your knees, but you don't need to. You can keep your hands above your knees. Try to find a flat tabletop. So tummy button to spine is going to stop the, the back of the waist from sagging. Broad through your lower back. Shoulders floating a little bit away from the floor, but staying away from your ears as well. Shoulder blades, back ribs, broad. And rather than tucking your chin in and looking at your feet, look down at the floor underneath your face. So the back of your head is in that line of your tabletop as well. And then imagine that the ceiling could very gently lower down. Which part of your back would it touch first? Then let it lower down gently. Feel it touch those bits of your back that are the highest. And then try to squeeze all the other bits up towards the ceiling, flattening everything against your imaginary ceiling. Remember, you're looking at the floor, not at your feet. And then relax your shoulders. Take a bit more bend in your knees. Bring your fingers down onto the floor. So you're in a forward fold with bent knees. You're going to step your left foot back to a lunge. So a short lunge this time. If you're not sure, have a look, see how far back I've gone. It's not too far. If you worry about wobbling, because we're going to stand up on our legs, if you think you might be a little bit unbalanced, take your right foot wider out to the right and your left foot out to the left. So you're taking up the whole width of the mat with your sort of width of stance. If you're more balanced, you don't need to worry about that. And if you still feel unbalanced as we lift up, then bring your back foot in a little bit closer to your front foot as well, distance front and back. So a bend of both knees. Press the front foot, the right foot, really firm down into the floor, and your fingers are lighter on the floor when you make that pressure in your front foot. You can bring both hands onto your front knee and then lift your spine. So both knees are bent. You bring your spine vertical and then hands on hips. Check that you're nice and deeply sunk in your hips, but your right knee is over your ankle, not forwards of it, so you might want to creep your foot forwards. And then to really firm through your legs, your back heel, your left heel, so your left foot, you press the ball of your foot down into the floor, you push the heel as if towards the wall behind. So strengthen your legs. Right hip, imagine it moving towards your left heel. So it kind of tucks in, makes your hips feel narrow and secure as well. And tailbone dropping towards the floor. Then lift your arms to frame your face like you did before. So arms may be a little wide. Front ribs don't flare forwards. There's loads to think about. Shoulder blades may be broadening, separating. And then maybe the left hip can push a little bit forwards. You should get a good stretch on the front of the left hip. Lovely. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And then relax your shoulders. Look down at the floor. Take your hands either side of your front foot. A moment to get your balance, and when you've got it, then step your left foot forwards. Hang in your forward fold for a moment. And then a deeper bend of your knees. Tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin in, roll up to standing. So feet are hip distance apart. Hands on the front of your thighs. And then hinge at your hips again. That same tabletop forward fold. So your hands slide down to the top of your knees. Maybe a bit of bend of your knees, because this is about your spine, not your legs. So hands above or below your knees, but not on your kneecaps. And then a flatness in your back. So tummy button to spine. Elongate your spine. Broaden all the parts of your back. Your lower back, your back ribs. Let the shoulders float away from the floor so the backs of your shoulders are broadened parallel to the ceiling. You're looking down underneath your face. You're feeling your imaginary ceiling again, just touching down against you, and then you squidge everything up against it. Lovely. And relax your shoulders. Bend your knees, let your fingers come down onto the floor. I'm going to step back with the right foot this time. So, same amount again, maybe a little more if you were feeling well balanced. Remember, if you weren't so well balanced, take your left foot out to the left, your right foot out to the right, even to the right to the edges of the mat. And then bend both knees. Front foot presses firmly down so that your fingers start to feel light, and you can bring your hands onto your front knee. Push into that front foot some more. Bring yourself upright. Both knees are bent. Okay, so spine comes upright. And then push down with your right ball of the foot. Push the right heel back. Left hip draws as if towards your right heel. So your hips feel narrow and strong. And then the hips want to roll forwards. You're going to tip them back, tilt them back. That's when you feel the stretch on the right hip flexor. That's what we're looking for here, that stretch right at the top here. So lift your arms. Keep the strength in your legs. Do what you can to get as much stretch in this right hip flex as you need. Breath in and a breath out. One more breath in and a breath out. And then straighten your legs. Look down at your front foot. Your hands are going to go either side of your front foot, so you bend your knees again to get yourself down there. Get your balance when you get there. There's no rush, but when you're ready, you're going to step your right foot in line with your left foot, hip distance apart. Let your shoulders relax. Let your head and neck relax. Take hold of the opposite elbow with each hand. And then release your hands. Take a good deep bend of your knees. Tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin in. Roll yourself back up to standing. And then we're slowly going to lie back down on our backs once again. So for a rest, a nice lie down. See if you can relax every part of your body as you lie down. So no effort in your legs, no effort in your arms, your shoulders. Bend your knees once again. We're going to make our way up to sitting. To twist today, we're going to sit cross-legged. So you may want to have a block. Well, for any twist, I think a block's always a good idea. So if you have a block or a cushion, have a seat on that. Cross-legged if your legs are happy to cross-leg, and if they're not, then stretch them out and we'll do the usual bending one knee to twist. So I'll give you the instruction for that. So cross-legged if you're happy to cross-leg, hands on both knees, heavy in your hips, so sit comfortably squarely on whatever you're sitting on and let your rib cage float up away from your hips, so stretching through the sides of your waist. You're going to take your right hand onto your left knee, but if you don't want to, you can keep it on the leg. If you don't want to move it that far, you can experiment with where you have that hand, and left hand on the floor behind. So if you don't want to do cross leg, you'll have your legs stretched out, you'll bend your left knee with your right hand on your left knee. Otherwise all exactly the same. Yeah. So make your choice. Don't do anything that doesn't feel so comfy. So every breath in, that elongation of the sides of your waist, your rib cage floating up away from your hips. And as you breathe out, a rotation of your tummy button, the sides of your waist, your chest. So slow breath in, find that length again, relax your shoulders. And as you exhale, turn your rib cage. You don't have to look over your left shoulder just yet. Just think about turning your torso. So 2 more breaths, a breath in to lift up tall. And this time as you exhale and twist, now look over your left shoulder. 1 more breath in. And as you exhale, back of the left shoulder moves into the space behind it, your final twist. Then gently untwist, turn to the front. Stretch out your legs if you've got, if you're not cross-legged, otherwise hands on your knees. So if you're cross-legged, left hand on your right knee and right hand on the floor behind. If you've got your legs stretched out, you're going to bend your right knee, left hand on your right knee and behind. So as you breathe in, find the length. And as you breathe out, take the turn. You don't need to move your head, just think about turning your torso. So slow breaths in, slow breaths out. Breath in. Relax your shoulders, and as you exhale, turn to look over your right shoulder if your neck is happy to do that. One more breath in, biggest lift tall. And as you exhale, back of the right shoulder rolls back. It's like you're trying to look over your right shoulder, but move your right shoulder out of your line of vision at the same time. And then gently back to the centre. Stretch out your legs. Shake them if they feel like they need a shake. And then take your feet wide apart. So just as wide as feels comfy. If it's difficult to sit up tall, stay on your block. If it's less difficult, then move off your block. That's completely your choice. But if you're on a block, sit well on your block. Try and take a hand either side of your hips to sit as tall as you can. And picture your spine. So the tailbone, the very top, bottom bit of your spine, just touching the floor. And the spine as tall as it can be. So the spine's going to stay straight, the tailbone's going to stay just touching the floor. You're going to bring your arms out in front. So keep with that vision of your tailbone on the floor and your spine straight. Very small circles with your spine to allow your hand to stir as if you had a pot between your legs. Just a small pot for now. So spine is straight and the base of the tailbone pivoting on the floor. So as you move, you should feel different parts of your underside more in contact with the floor or less in contact with the floor. If it's difficult, take a good bend of your knees. You might be able to get a bit more movement in your hips then. So you can stay at that small circle or you can go bigger, but keep that same visualization of your spine and the tailbone, the very base of your spine, just pivoting around on the floor. And we're going to go round the other direction. So whatever size you want to be with your stir. But the spine is straight, there's no movement in your waist. And then make it a little smaller if you'd gone big. Come to a halt. Rest your arms. So you can take a lean back if you need a lean back, if it's difficult to stay sitting. But staying firm on your block or on the floor. You're going to lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. So as if there's a rope hanging down from the ceiling, it's looped around your wrist. Your wrist is just pulling straight up. So you can have as much knee bend as you want any time you want. You're going to lean over to the left. So it's a curve of your spine. Your left shoulder starts to sag. The left side of your waist, no no supporting it at all, but your right arm reaching up to the ceiling. So keep it vertical for now. Feel how you've rolled onto your left hip. So press into your left hand, rebalance your hips so that your right hip pushes down into the floor a little bit. And then take your arm overhead if that feels okay. So use a bit of pressure in your left hand to push your right hip down to the floor as you extend your right fingers out up to the corner of the ceiling and the wall. Lovely. One more big breath in to extend that length in the right side. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to gently come back up. You can push into your hand to come back up. And then bring your arm back down. Left arm up, straight vertical up. And then lean over to the right. So let your right side just relax. Keep the left arm vertical. It's tempting to take it over, but we're not going to go there just yet. Just softening the right side. Then feel how you've rolled onto your right leg, hip, buttock. So your right hand is going to push down to square you back. And you're making that length from your left hip up to your left fingers. Now maybe take your left arm overhead. You're looking for a stretch on the left side of your body as you breathe in. Really make that stretch long. Relaxing on your breath out. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, push into your right hand. Bring yourself back upright. And then release your arm back down. Take a roll of your shoulders. And then bend your knees, bring your legs back in, give them a little shake. And then back down onto the floor, lying on the floor. So move your block. Stretch out on the floor. Right knee onto your chest, hands around your shin or the back of your thigh. Squeeze it in. And as you squeeze it in, can you relax your shoulders? Feel how the back of your waist sort of squidges comfortably down towards the floor. Push your left heel away, pull your left toes up towards you. The left leg is strong and straight. Right leg completely relaxed. Squeezing in. Relax the left leg. Release the right leg. Extend it out along the floor. And then bring your left knee in. Hands around your shin or the back of your thigh. Squeeze it in. So to squeeze it to its comfortable place, comfortable maximum place, your hips have got to relax a little bit, give a little bit. If that tenses your shoulders, then relax your shoulders as well. And then stretch out the right leg, push the heel away, pull the toes up towards you. Like the back of the right thigh is pulling down towards the floor. Relax the right leg. Stretch out the left leg. Take your feet comfortably wide apart. Let your feet flop out to the sides. And then your arms a little way away from your body. Turn them palm face up. Let's rotate the whole length of your arm in that direction. And maybe have a little rock of your shoulders so that you can tuck your shoulder blades down away from your shoulders. Down towards, as if you're moving them a little bit closer towards the back of your waist. Once you settle, just make sure your lower back is still comfy and the adjustments with your hips to make that comfy. Back of your head balanced on the floor. Close your eyes. Come back to those 2 balloons, one in your abdomen, one in your rib cage. You're going to exhale and let them both be soft. As you inhale, inflate the abdomen balloon. And when it's full, then inflate the rib cage balloon as well. Relax your shoulders. When you get to the top of your breath, slowly release your breath. Let both balloons soften back down. So every breath the same. 2 parts to the breath in, the abdomen balloon, the rib cage balloon. 1 slow part to the breath out. Take your time with every breath. In your own time, with no rushing, 2 more full cycles of breath before natural breathing. Gently take your arms beyond your head. Stretch out. Bring your legs together. Push your heels away. Pull your toes up towards you. And then point your toes away. Release that stretch. And bring your knees onto your chest. Hands around your knees. Or hands on your knees. Maybe to guide your knees around in a big circle. Whatever action gives your lower back a bit of massage on the floor. If you're circling, go the other way. And then come to rest at the centre. Place your feet down on the floor. Check which way you can roll to. Roll over onto that side. And then back up to sitting. Namaste. Wonderful.